Welcome to video 2 in our goal setting series. Last video, we talked all about what is a goal and why would we set goals. Now in this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about the how we approach our goals. If you haven't had a chance to watch the first video, I'll link it right up here in the card so you can jump over and watch that and then meet us right back here. Because in this video, we're going to filter it through a very popular framework. Now we had a question. What do you want to achieve? And we looked at it from a 10-year lens, a 5-year lens, and even a 1-year lens, which is where I want to focus our effort today. If you think about it, what do you want to have 1 year from now? Where do you want to be 1 year from now? Now, we have a list of things we want to achieve, or you should. Maybe it's in your head. Maybe it's written down. What I want to do is I want to take that list and I want to filter it through a very popular framework. Framework you might have learned in a workshop or a framework that you might have read in a book, but it's called the SMART framework. Now, you might have learned it a few different ways, but I'm going to teach you the version that I use to teach leaders around the country. So let's take what we want to achieve and let's filter through this. The S in SMART stands for specific. Specific. There's a difference in saying, I want to lose weight and I want to lose 10 pounds. One is more specific than the other. Or I want to save money and I want to save $1,000. Again, one is more specific than the other. How specific are the goals that you wrote down? The second part of SMART is the M. It's measurable. It's measurable. We should know if we hit the mark or if we miss the mark. That way we can either celebrate that we hit it or we could adjust if we missed it. So the next question you have to ask yourself is, how are you going to measure these goals? Now, the A is where some SMART frameworks say one thing and others say another, but the way that I teach A is actionable. Actionable. You've probably heard the phrase, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The actionable steps within your goal are those small bites that help you do the overall goal. So can you break your goal down into small, actionable steps? Because sometimes it can seem overwhelming looking at what you want to achieve. But once you break it down, it can give you the energy and inspiration to go after it. The R in SMART, so we have specific, measurable, actionable, realistic. That's the R, realistic. Now, when I say realistic, I want you to think stretchingly realistic. Okay, stretchingly realistic. Sometimes we'll have things that are just easy to hit. That's not what we want here. We want something that we know we're going to have to stretch ourselves a little bit. So if you think it's something you're naturally going to hit, stretch it out just a little bit further. But I want to warn you, watch out for the comparison trap, because sometimes we've seen others achieve something and we want to achieve what they've achieved. So we set these big, huge goals that only set us up for burnout because we're comparing our journey to their journey. Think about you in this season of life. Think about you in all you have going on in your current capacity. Is this realistic for you right now, and is it stretchingly realistic? Now we come to the T, time-bound. Time-bound. You might remember what I said in the last video. A goal without a deadline is simply a dream. We got to put a date on this thing. And you could have a longer term where you say, hey, over this year, I'm going to complete it by the end of next year. Or you could have something in the middle. You could say, I'm going to complete this by June. Or you could have something at the beginning. I'm going to do this in the first quarter. What I'd say, though, is dial that in. Not just a quarter, not just the month, but the day. When are you going to get this done by? Let's be specific on that date. So now, once we filter what we want to achieve through this SMART framework, we should have a handful of SMART goals. This is going to help us with clarity, which is going to bring confidence in what we're doing so that we can see clearly and our brain can be wrapped around where we're going and the direction we're headed. Well, I hope that helps you in setting your goals and tightening them up, because tomorrow we're going to look at what do you do once you have these goals. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd love for you to come along the journey. We're going to continue the goal series, and then we're going to move into a few other things that are going to help us maximize our year. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.